Hey guys, how's it going? Fedja here, and I'm here to do the much-awaited playthrough of Deities Domination. I've got a couple friends over, my friends Ranga and Somya. It's rainy out, so perfect weather to be playing board games. I have the game set up in front of me. I've taken some time to get it ready before the video started. So what I'll do is before we start playing, I'll go through each of the elements so you kind of understand what you're looking at as we play through it. And so you can kind of grasp what we're doing. So the first thing, first and foremost, Deities Domination is all about the gods. So in the middle of the table we have the gods here, and right above them are the individual god powers that you get based on the god that you've chosen. So for this game I'm going to choose Odin, and as you can see the god cards are much bigger than the regular cards because we really wanted them to pop. I'm going to choose Odin for this game, and because I chose Odin, I'm going to take his two special god powers and add them to my initial starting deck, and that forms my base deck as I start the game. We all start with the same base deck. Ranga and Somya will each add their own unique god power cards to their decks based on who they choose. Next, I'm going to set up the monsters in the game. So there's a deck of monster cards that we play with, and basically what we do is we shuffle those up and then we split them evenly across 3 monster layers. And these monster layers are going to be the arenas in which the heroes battle monsters in order to gain victory points towards your victory. So once we get those set up, we'll have them all nice and neat, and then we'll be ready to get our board started set up. So every player is going to have in front of them a tracker. And so this tracker is going to do a couple things for you. The first and foremost, it's going to help you track your economy. So the economy consists of power, growth, and fervor, which you'll monitor throughout the game and use to pay for various actions. The tracker also has, in the top right corner, a list of all of the potential actions that you can perform, as well as the causes, effects, and costs of all of the different structures that you can build throughout the game, as well as some certain actions like battling monsters and purchasing tributes. The final thing that the tracker does is helps you track your victory points. So all the way at the bottom here, we have our victory points. In this game, we're going to be playing a short game, so the first person to 12 points is going to win the game. Now that we have that cleared up, as you can see, each player has that in front of them. Let's talk about some of the components that we'll have at our disposal. So in front of each player, there are 5 meeples that are going to serve as your heroes. There are a number of crops, a number of boons that you will use throughout the game. We have our villages, our shrines, our castles, and our temple, all of which we can build throughout the game, and all of which I will choose to build based on the specific god that I've selected. So Odin, with Odin I will probably want to build about a lot more villages because that's what he's kind of catered to doing throughout the game. So there are also some trackers here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my trackers on my starting currency levels. So that's 7 for each currency, and I'm going to place my victory point tracker at 2 because, as you'll see when we set up the board, everyone starts with 2 villages, each of which are worth 1 victory point, so it kind of evens the playing field in the beginning of the game. So I'm going to take our tiles. So we start the game with oh god, how many are here? 6 tiles, 6 grassland tiles, and we can set them up in any formation we want. So because I would like to do something interesting today, we are going to set up the tiles like such, and that will be our starting board. Now, once Ranga and Somya arrive at the table, we'll take turns picking the location that we want to place our villages in. The final piece that I'd like to just point out is over to the left are all of your village and shrine cards. The shrine cards are the yellow goldish cards, and the village cards are the red and blue combination cards. These cards you add to your deck as you build different structures. So remember, Deities is a 4X game and a deck building game at the same time. So as we grow our tribes and advance throughout the game, we'll be adding to our decks and making our decks more powerful, thus allowing us to better either counter or attack our opponents as we try to get to the victory condition. All right, so Ranga and Somya have joined me.
Hey.
We're about to start. So Ranga actually has to place his first two villages down, and his first 2 heroes. Somya, you also have to place your 2 heroes. So while they're getting ready, we've set up our board. We've set up our starting locations. I'm just going to explain what the base cards allow you to do throughout the game, so you can get a feel for all of the actions that you are able to do. So the first base card is gain a hero, which are these are the meeples that you move around the board and use to interact with the board. You have 2 move hero 2 spaces cards. You have a gain fervor, gain power, and gain growth cards. So those are your currencies that you use throughout the game. So they look like this. You have an expand map card, which allows you to draw from this map pile and add to the map. You can place the tile wherever you would like. There's a gain 1 boon card and gain 2 crops cards. So your boons and your crops are the resources that you use in order to build the structures that you want to build throughout the game. They're critical to executing whatever strategy you want to execute. And then, like I said earlier, I'm going to add my hero cards to my hand and then shuffle it up, and that'll form my deck. Everyone's going to draw 6 cards to start the game. And then we will start our first turn. Our first turn is going to consist of, all of our turns will consist of 2 phases. There's going to be a tribute phase, a tribute resolution phase, and an action phase. So at the beginning of every turn, a player has the option during the tribute resolution phase to choose to pay 2 fervor for each tribute token that they would like to purchase. They can purchase as many as they have enough fervor for. And what these tribute tokens do is once you've collected 5 of these tokens, you automatically return them to the pile and you take a tribute from the pile. These gold little cubes, and you place them on the end of your tracker. And what that does is that means that I now need 11 victory points to win the game rather than 12. So it's another way to hasten the game and build intensity in the game, and also allows you to execute yet another strategy towards your victory. So Deities is all about the interaction between and the interplay between all of the gods, the conditions on the board, what cards have been added to each person's deck. So this enables the game to play out in many, many different ways every single time you play. So I think that's one of the best elements of Deities that I tried to build in, was that replayability and that uniqueness every single time. So with that being said, let's get started. Somya rolled the highest dice value. She rolled a 4. Ranga and I both rolled 3s. So she's going to go first, and she's going to start her game off with her move. Now, we've all played this game a bunch before, so we're going to go pretty quick through these actions. We'll make sure to say what we're doing, enunciate very well, and hopefully you can follow along, and hopefully you enjoy the show. So with that, Somya, let's get started, and I'm going to crush both of you.
Good luck. My first action is going to gain 2 crops. So I can put these crops anywhere on the board. I'm going to put them here. And for this, it costs me 1 growth. I'm going to go down 1 growth. Second action is to move a hero 2 spaces. Do you want to explain about moving the hero?
Yeah, so when you move your heroes, each of these tiles that exists on the board has 3 spaces. So when you move your hero, you can move your hero up to 2 spaces with the move card, and you move them with across those 2 spaces within the tiles. Certain sections of the tiles have different obstacles or monsters layers. So if there's a mountain icon on the tile, you can't walk across it or build across it. There's little icons that denote that on the tiles. If there's a monster layer, you can move across it, but you can't build on it. So Somya, in her next turn, if she wanted to move her hero, she still could get through it, but she can't build anything on it. The monster layer, we'll get to it when we actually see a battle happen, but you would need to put your hero in this layer, declare battle, pay 3 power, and then you move that hero. You move that hero into the monster layer and have the battle with the monster there. So when that pops up, we'll actually show it play through, but that's the general gist of how that works.
Thanks, Fedja. For the last turn, I'm going to gain 2 fervor. So I'm going to go up a couple, and that's my turn. I'm going to pick up 3 cards, to get back to the count of 6 cards on my hand.
So I will actually draw a hand. Okay, so I'm going to take this opportunity to actually trash a card, and so what that means is that I'm able to trash a card from the game completely. And so I'm going to trash the Gain 2 Growth card from my hand and from the game, and the reason I'm doing that is because Odin has a special god power that allows him to gain 3 growth. So because of his special power, that Gain 2 Growth card is a little redundant, so I'm just going to streamline my deck to make sure that I'm picking up more cards more cards that I need more frequently. So, and that'll end my turn.
Okay. So as Poseidon, I get a battle dice at the start of the game, and I'm going to play my 3 cards. Gain a boon. I'm going down by 2 growth. Gain 2 crops. And I'm moving my hero. That's my turn.
Okay. Back to me. Before the start of my turn, I'm allowed to buy tribute tokens. I'm going to buy 4 tribute tokens. That takes me down to like 1 fervor and pick up 4 of these. I had 9 fervor to begin with, so picked up 4 of them and went down to 1. This time I'm going to gain 2 power, gain 2 growth, and power, gain 2 growth, and gain a hero. Go down to power, pick up a hero and drop him on the board.
So you always have to drop your hero. You always have to spawn a hero on a space on which you have a structure already built. So Soumya's options right now are on one of the 2 village spaces that she already has built. Okay, cool. So I am not going to buy tributes. I will expand the map. So the tile that I drew was a mountain tile, and this tile has a special icon that gives you 1 free boon on each of these spaces. So what I'm going to do, the 3rd space also has a mountain on it that you cannot traverse over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in such a way that Ranga can't easily hop into that tile with his hero that's there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move my hero up to 2 spaces onto that tile, because Ranga's main power as Poseidon is that he can flood tiles back into the deck. So as long as my hero is there, he can't flood it back, because he can only flood unoccupied tiles. And then the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gain 2 crops. Now the reason I'm going to do this is because if I get 1 more crop here, using this free boon and my hero, I'll be able to build my next village and add a stronger card to my deck. And that's my turn.
Okay. I'm also going to expand the map. Oh. Do you want to explain this?
So this tile is an orchard. What this tile does is similar to the mountain tile that we just pulled. It gives 1 free crop on each space, so it also helps you build structures a little more quickly. And remember, these resources are available to anyone that's on the tile. They're not only available to specific players, so you can place that wherever you would like. And so now Ranga is going to place this tile away from everyone else because he wants to take advantage of that tile before anyone else can.
I'm also going to gain 2 growth. and gain 2 power. That's my turn.
So what Ranga's going to do now is he only had 1 card left in his deck, so he could only have a hand of 4. He's going to shuffle up his discard pile, create a new deck, and then draw the remaining 2 from there. Sonia, you're up.
Any one of you Celtic gods? No, you're Greek and you're Nordic.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. All Celtic gods gain 3 power, so that's a useful card to have. I'm going to gain a boon. Ooh, nice. I'm going to discard this card. So essentially, if I don't want to play a card from my hand, I can discard it, put it into the discard pile, and choose not to take the effects from that card. I'm done.
Okay, so I'm going to choose not to buy tributes again, but I will gain a boon for 2 growth. I'm going to place it here. I will gain 2 fervor. 2. And then I will also gain a hero. And I'll start it on that village space. So.
Okay. I'm going to gain 2 crops.
So I'm going to just do a little camera check. Just to make sure we're all spick and spam.
I'm going to gain 2 fervor. And I'm going to exercise my Poseidon God power and flood this tile. Effectively creating an island for Samya.
Hate it when you do that.
And when I play that power, I get 4 power, and that's the end of my turn.
I will find you. I was going to actually do that. That's fine. You know what? Create an island for all I care. So on my first turn, I'm going to expand the map.
Oops.
I'm going to place it this way. So if you guys try to expand from either direction, you can't cross over the mountain.
So this tile is important for Samya. The reason that she put it here away from everyone else is because it's a forest tile, and because Samya is a Celtic god. Remember, each clan has their own god. Each god has their own god powers and also a clan power. And so Dagda's clan power is that he can build. If he builds a shrine on this forest tile, he actually gets 2 shrine cards instead of 1. And the shrine cards are much more powerful than the village cards. So now Samya has a really good opportunity to build some interesting shrines here to really increase her power exponentially before Ranga and I can do anything about it. So it's a good move.
Ooh, I'm excited. Going to move my hero and put down a boon.
Okay.
Excited.
Fedja.
Mm-hmm.
This makes for very interesting gameplay because you not only have to decide your strategy, it's like you have to watch out for what the others are doing. And as a god, as Dagda, my biggest strength is building. So building. I guess that's my strategy.
Okay, so I'm gonna move this hero over here. With my first turn, I'm gonna expand the map once again, and I have received another forest. So what I will do is put it here.
Oh.
And so this forest also has an obstacle. And so what I've done is I've blocked off both points of entry that Sonia can use to get to it. And if she wants to get to it, she'll have to go the long way, which is
Go around.
kind of. So I'm gonna also use Odin's power to gain a hero, and I will put that hero over here. And that's my turn.
Okay. I'm going to use my turn to build a village. So I gain a victory point. I spend all those resources, plus I spend 2 fervor. Oops.
Is that crop still going to be on the table?
That crop was on this.
Oh.
And I'm going to pick up a village card.
While you're distracted doing that,
Can you pass me the gain 5 power and convert 1 hero? Thank you. I'll add this card to my discard pile to start.
okay. I'm going to start off with -1 growth. Going to gain 2 crops. I'm going to put one of the crops here, and one of the crops here to start, and I'm going to gain 2 growth. And I'm going to discard this card.
Okay. I'm once again going to stop, not skip buying a tribute. I'm going to gain a boon.
Can anyone do something to stop him? Can you stop him?
I'm going to move my hero 1-2 over into Ranga's territory, and then I'm going to gain 2 fervor. So 1-2.
Gain a boom.
Hmm.
I'm gaining a hero and moving that hero. So I gain the hero here. I'm moving him 2 spaces. That's my turn.
This side is pretty neat. I'm going to gain 2 fervor. Spent it too quickly. And I'm going to move my hero 2 spaces, and do I really want to do that? Okay, I'm going to gift you a boon.
Okay. I'm always game for getting a boon.
That's one of my god powers, and I gain 4 growth. Okay, I'm done.
Right, I'm going to gain 2 crops. So I'll put 1 here and 1 over here.
Oh. Hello.
Aggressive.
I'm going to gain a boon. So overall, I've got 1, 2. I've used 3 growth, and then I'm going to gain that 3 growth back with my god power. 1, 2, 3. In order to stay neutral. So Ranga, it's your turn.
Looks like you're getting pretty powerful.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah. So gain 2 growth.
I am Odin.
It's like saying I'm Groot. I'm Odin.
I'm going to gain a boon. -2. What do I want to do? Okay. And I'm going to expand the map. Oh, beautiful. Do you want to explain this?
Yeah, so this is a coastline tile, and for Greek gods, so, oops, remember, Sonya's clan power revolved around forests and building shrines on forests. Ranga's clan power revolves around building villages on coastlines. So he gets 2 victory points instead of 1 for every village that he builds on this tile. I wonder where he'll put it.
Can I convince you to flood your own tile?
Probably not. Let's see.
Make up your mind.
Right here looks good.
It's not going to make a difference anyway.
Please.
Are you done?
Yes.
Finally, I'm going to convert all of this to a village. And by doing that, I go down to fervor, I gain a victory point, and that's my turn.
And I'm also going to build, so I'm going to use, I'm going to build both a village and a shrine. So you can build as many structures as you want on your turn. So I'm going to have to pay 7 total fervor, so I go from 10 down to 3. And then I build my shrine here and my village here. And so I'm going to pick 1 shrine card, and for that I'm going to pick the transport hero to any tile on the map. And for my village card, that one I'll have to take some time to decide. So
I haven't picked my village card, so I'm still deciding.
yeah, so for my village card, I will choose the card that allows me to either gain 2 boons or destroy 2 boons in another tribe.
And I'll pick the same thing. Put it in the discard pile and I'm good.
Okay. Are you guys done?
Mm-hmm.
To start with, I'm spending 2 powers and converting Fedja's hero to my own. Thanks for that, Fedja. And just to keep things interesting, I'm going to flood this tile. Keep Sonia
Thank you.
on her little island a little longer, and that gives me 4 power. And I'm going to move my hero 2 more spaces, and that's kind of my turn.
Great. Can I need this? I'm going to gain 2 fervor. Move hero 2 spaces. Here. And discard. I tend to hoard cards, don't I?
I'm going to trash 3 cards from my deck.
Does this every single time?
Okay. Gaining 2 crops. Gaining 2 fervor. And I'm moving my hero 2 more spaces. 1, 2. That's my turn.
I am going to buy a tribute token that makes it a total of 5, which means I can turn this in and buy a tribute So that brings my victory condition down to like 11 victory points. And that's before the start of my turn. I am going to gain a boon.
Sorry, my mom called me like 5 times.
Is she okay?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Let's see. I'm going to play this one, which allows me to gain, actually I'm going to put this here. Gain a fervor for every village, for each village in your tribe. That's like 1 for now, so I'll keep that. And I will gain 2 growth.
Wait, no, you gained 3. You have 3 villages.
Oh, right. So 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I have to count, God.
I keep forgetting the first 2 villages.
So I'm gonna gain.
It's not a really good thing.
Definitely gonna gain 2 fervor. I'm also going to gain 1 hero. So I'll put him there. And then I am going to gain 2 crops. So I'll put 1 here and 1 here.
Interesting choices.
What's the point?
So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up 2 tributes,
Tribute tokens.
and I believe those are the tributes.
Oh,
And
right.
I'm also going to convert this village. That's my turn. Oh, and because I got that village, I'll pick up.
What are you gonna choose?
I'm
Gee, I
going
want
to pick this up. No, this up. And
Gain 3 crops or destroy 4 crops in another tribe.
Okay.
Oh, very interesting.
Very interesting.
oh, and I got 1 victory point.
What are you at? 4 points?
Don't worry about me.
You can't say that. Minus 1.
Fedja, you're at 5 points, right?
You're at
Oh yeah, I forgot to add points, so I get 1 for the village and 2 for the shrine.
you guys are killing me. Okay, that's my first turn. My second turn is to gain a hero. And third turn is to expand the map. Oh yeah, I'd love for you to.
Oh wow.
So there are only 2 coastline tiles in the deck, so this is the second one that Ranga would have needed in order to
Wait, what color are you?
guys points. He's blue.
You know what? I'll just keep it here.
Wow. Big mistake.
I don't care if it floods, it goes back to the bottom of the pile, so I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to gain 3 growth. 1, 2, 3, so I'm at 6, and then I'm gonna put 3 boons onto the map. And that'll use all 6 of my growth.
I'm going to gain 2 growth and gain 2 growth. buy a hero. And regain that 2 power. That's my turn.
Okay, so I think I have a strategy for Dagda. I'm going to convert this to a village. Go down to power. Gain a point. And I'm going to pick up this card. And put it in the discard pile.
So I'm going to teleport this hero over this side of the map.
He might actually be right, like he might actually just destroy us.
I'm going to gain 3 growth. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to gain 2 crops. 1, 2. For 1 growth. That's my turn.
Okay. So, first action. Gain 3 crops. 1, 2.
You can see how you're beginning to piss him off.
I'm going to convert a hero in another tribe. Thank you, Fedja. And I'm going to move that hero a space. That's my turn.
Okay, for the first time in a very long time, I'm going to trash cards. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to
Trashing cards is
This-
always the hardest.
I know it's such a difficult choice. It's like what do you trash? It's
And there's
Very
the
difficult.
Fedja, of course.
yeah, no, it's
If
like
only you had time to think about what you wanted to do while other players were executing
yeah. Unfortunately
their
for me, I
turns.
didn't build the game, so I don't know the cards. I'm going to trash these 2 cards. When you trash, you don't need to show people what you trash. It's just your choice.
Alright, I am also going to trash.
Wow. I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong.
You are.
It's fine. -1. 1 here.
Always never the card that I want to get. It's like it's so hard.
That's the pitfall of having a deck building. Unless, of course, you know how to
Keep
trash
trashing
cards.
all your cards, yeah.
I'm going to expand the map. Oh, nice.
So this tile is a Northlands tile, which is very beneficial to me because my crops, so my boons and crops on that tile cannot be destroyed. So,
You might
Oh,
want to.
actually, let's put that right here.
Oh, you know what? Screw you.
And
Oh.
to finish my turn off, I'm going to flood this tile back into the deck. That's my turn.
I'm going to gain a fervor for every village that I own, which is 4 of them. Come on. Oh, you know what? I'm going to expand the map. I hope I get a Northland style.
Oh, so you get 2 free crops. Interesting.
Maybe I'll connect back with you.
And I'm done.
Can I see your discard pile?
No, you may not.
Yeah, well, you can do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna gain a hero and put it here. I'm gonna transport my hero back over to here. And I'm going to gain 2 fervor.
There you go.
I'm done.
I'm going to use up the rest of my fervor and convert this into a castle.
So castles are interesting buildings because they don't give you any cards, but they do give you battle dice, which you use against monsters. So because Poseidon always has an abundance of power, he's more of a battle-oriented god, and so Ranga's main strategy is going to be to continue to build as many castles as he can.
You done?
Yep.
No, it's your turn.
Wow. So I'm going to gain 2 crops, -1 growth. And gain the boon, -2 growth. I'm done.
I'm going to build another shrine.
Is
5 fervor.
the one card that I want.
And so I get 2 more victory points. I'm up to 7. And then I also get to pick another shrine card up. Okay, Ranga, you can go while I figure out what I want to do.
Okay.
The music is very good.
I'm going to recharge a little bit, so gain 2 fervor and gain 2 growth. And I'm going to move my hero to the second monster layer. I'm not taking any other actions, I'm done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to convert this to a.
I'm going to take the shrine card that allows me to gain 2 boons.
Interesting.
And I have my strategy set. Okay.
Alright, I'm going to gain 3 growth, so I'm up to 4 growth. And then I'm going to gain 2 boons, so that brings me down to 0. And then I'm also going to gain a hero. And I'll put that here.
So what's the criteria for the Northland tile? Like, I can't destroy the boons and the crops, right?
Yeah.
But I can get rid of the hero?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Your turn.
So I'm going to gain 2 growth and spend 2 growth gaining 3 crops. So and then 0. And I'm going to move my hero 2 spaces. Let's see, where do I want him to go? That's my turn.
Okay. I am going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's some dramatic music right there.
I got tired of listening to silence.
I mean, how many points are you at?
5.
You're also at 5?
Yes. And
What are you
you're
at?
at 7?
I'm at 7, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, time to start destroying some stuff. Okay, I'm going to make you more powerful. Actually, not.
Yes, please.
Actually, I'm going to gain 2 fervor. That's my second turn, and my third turn is to gain a hero. If I make you more powerful, what's in it for me?
Make me more powerful.
So I'm going to gain 2 boons.
Give me a fighting chance against
One
Fedja.
here, one here. Then I'm going to transport.
You should have flooded that when you had a chance.
Hindsight's
You made a
always
mistake.
20/20.
Huh?
Hindsight is
Then
always
I'm
20/20.
going to gain another hero.
So, I'm going to gain a hero, -2, gain 2 powers, so back up and move the hero 2 spaces. So I'm gaining him here, moving him to another monster layer. That's my turn.
Interesting. So Ranga has 2 heroes set up in the monster layers. So basically each of these monster layers has 2 slots. So he can set up to 2 heroes into each of the layers. And what he's going to do is when he declares battle, he is going to flip over the card in which he declares battle and then roll the dice to see if his dice roll exceeds the strength of that monster strength. Now the thing about the monsters is they all vary in strength, but they also vary in the victory points that they award to you. So he could potentially draw a monster that awards no victory points and renders his battle useless to him. So he will have used the power needed to do that and then just kind of lost it. So it's a gamble, but it potentially has a really big payoff. So once he has enough dice, he'll start battling, which is potentially bad news for Soumya and I.
I'm going to move my hero because I don't really have the strongest cards right now, so I'm going to gain a fervor for every village that I have. I have 5 villages, and what do I do? Okay, I'm going to pit you against him. I'm going to gift you 2 crops. That gives me...
Thank you.
And I'm done.
Okay. I'm going to gain 2 fervor. 1, 2. I'm going to transport my hero onto this tile. And then I'm going to destroy 2 boons in another tribe. So I'll get this one and this one, I guess. And that'll be my turn. That cost me 3 power to do, so 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Gain 2 fervor. I'm going to convert 1 hero to another tribe. And I'm going to actually expand the map. Wow.
What is it?
What is it? What is it?
Oh, interesting. Another
nice.
orchard. 2 crops.
Orchard of 2 crops.
Okay, that's my turn.
I was hoping to go by unnoticed.
Oh god, I could have done that.
This, right? 1, 2, 3,
Oh, I
4,
focused on the wrong guy.
4. Like how many? 5, right? So okay, fine. I'm at 6. I built my first shrine, and as a Celtic god, that essentially allows me to pick up 2 shrine cards. What do I do? Pick this up and I think I'm a strategy set. I'm done.
You've said that for the past like 7.5 turns. Are you sure it hasn't
Nothing
changed?
it's worked out. I mean, I'm at 7 points. How many points are you at?
7. So I'm going to. So I'm going to gain 3 growth. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to gain 2 crops for one growth, and then I'm also going to gain 2 boons. So place those here,
Wow.
and then I'm going to place my 2 crops over here.
Is that your turn?
Mm-hmm.
I'm building my castle. And that's my turn. Oh,
For my turn, I'm discarding my entire hand. I'm discarding 6 cards.
Trashing, you mean?
Trashing this entire hand, which means that I'm left with whatever is in my discard deck. Shuffle and pick up 6.
Okay, so for my turn, I'm going to gain 2 fervor. 1, 2. I'm also going to gain a hero, and then I'm going to transport that hero. So I'm going to start him here, and I'm going to transport him over here.
okay. I'm going to spend 3 powers. 1, 2, 3.
So Ranga just drew a dire wolf, which has a strength of 3, so very easy to defeat. However, it awards no victory points. So this is part of the risk-reward element of the monster hunting strategy.
So I have 3 dice, so no doubt that I can defeat that. Yep.
Unless you roll a bunch of ones. What happens if it's a tie?
You have to roll again. So Ranga is in the midst of battle, so his entire turn has to be dedicated to battle, but he can do as many battles as he has power to pay for. So he started out with 9, I believe, so he can do up to 3 battles. This time he drew a Frost Giant, which has a strength of 7 and will give him 1 victory point. So he just rolled an 11. Since he has 3 dice, this should be pretty easy. And a 9.
So it's best of 3, right?
Mm-hmm. Best of 3. So
Okay.
he gets 1 additional victory point.
Ah, I hope you get a dragon. Oh, fine.
And this one is a Cyclops that has a strength of 12. So this one will be challenging with 3 dice.
Wait. Did you just go up by 1 or did you go up like 3 or 4?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then 7
6
for that,
points.
yeah.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So he just rolled a 6, which means he doesn't get it.
Oh,
Yes!
5. So
What are the odds?
so now what happens is this hero is now stuck in the monster lair, and Ranga has to pay. He can pay another 3 power to battle with that hero, but basically that hero cannot leave that lair until he defeats that monster. So now on the map he's down 1 hero, so he has a disadvantage because heroes are really his lifeblood, because he needs those in order to battle. So it sucks to suck.
Are you done?
yes.
I'm going to trash 3 more cards.
Wow.
Which means that I have a lean and mean deck.
And I'm going to build a shrine, so I go down to 1 fervor. I build my shrine up here, And then I'm going to take a card that allows me to roll for power, growth, or fervor.
Okay.
And I also get 2 victory points, so I'm at 9, and I am almost won.
I'm going to expand the map. Perfect. I'm going to flood that map.
Alright.
Because you get 4 power for flooding.
Yes. And I gain 5 power. That's my turn.
You
Okay.
are a terrible person.
Okay, I'm going to gain 4 crops, but 4 crops, right? 3, 4, right? So I'm going to put like 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to destroy 2 crops in my tribe for 6 fervor. Wait, so I'm at 12. Well, what I should have done that I wanted to do is I want to go down all the way down to like 0 and pick up 3 tributes before I started my turn. I forgot. Buying crops, destroying it, that brings me back to 6. And for my third turn, I'm going to roll for 2. I'll take it. It's just wait, because I have only 6 cards, these get shuffled back to my deck, so I always know what I'm going to pick up because I only have 6 cards in my entire hand.
I'm gonna gain 2 fervor. Actually, no, I won't.
You know what I should have done?
Yeah.
I'm gonna gain 2 fervor. I'm going to gain a hero, and I'm gonna put that hero here. And then I'm going to gain 3 crops. Gain 3 growth. 1, 2, 3.
Done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to spend 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
Another wolf. No points.
well, that one's out of the way. I'm going to
Wait, so
Spend
go
3
down
more.
3 power, right?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, another 12.
Oh wow, you rolled a
Nice.
16.
What do you got?
Oh no.
That was 7.
Come on, lucky dice.
A 12.
Oh!
So you have to roll again, yeah.
Ah, that's right. Come on, lucky dice.
Wow, 13.
Yes!
Oh man. So how many points do you get? 2?
2.
So you're at 9. Oh man.
Okay, I'm buying 4 tribute tokens. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll keep 2 of them, turn the other 3 in. Right? Because Fedja, I feel particularly vengeful today. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, let's see. Interesting. 1 and 2. Starting with that, what am I doing? I'm gaining a fervor for every village that I have over here. And I'm destroying 2 crops in my tribe. That gives me 6 fervor. And I'm done. I'm enjoying this game. So as you see, it's like I've used a malevolent strategy to thwart somebody else's.
So I'm going to gain 2 fervor. 1, 2. I'm going to move my hero here. And I'm going to gain 2 boons.
Oh, sweet. You know, I'll just destroy them.
That's fine.
Okay.
I don't know why I try.
+2 fervor. I'm going to gain 3 crops. And move the hero 2 spaces. That's my turn.
I'm going to use up all of my fervor to buy 5 tokens. I'm going to exchange that for 1. And because he's so dangerously close to winning, I'm going to use the same strategy, destroy 1, 2, 3. Ooh, Fedja. And must not forget. That's my second turn.
Wow.
And anyway, third turn I will roll for fervor. If I get 1, I get 1. Fine.
Every time.
I know, right? You know what?
I'm going to build this village.
Oh, I didn't pay attention.
He's still way closer to winning.
Oh my god. How many points are you at, Samya? Or how many points away are you?
2.
Interesting.
So at this point, there is this huge adrenaline rush because it's like I know I'm 2 points away. I can get there, but I need to stop somebody else before they win.
This music really is perfect.
Hmm?
I said this music really is perfect.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Are you done?
Yeah.
I've been done.
Build this castle.
So you get your 4th dice. Okay.
How many points are you at?
Sonya's turn. He's at 10 as well.
Okay, I am buying 4 tribute tokens. I mean tribute tokens. 4. Turning 1 more in.
Oh god. Did you win?
No.
No, she's going to win on her next turn probably.
Okay.
Since there's nothing...
How many points are you at, Fedja?
I'm at 10, but I can't move fast enough.
So Samya is about 1 turn away.
You know what? I will roll because I'm sick of getting 2s. Sick of it. 5.
Yeah, she wins next turn.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Wait, I still have 1 more. What will I do? Yeah, I'm choosing not to do anything. I'm good.
We let her build that shrine.
Yeah.
Kind of
Who's that paid
screwed us
attention?
over.
I was hoping I'd just slide.
Because I was so focused on Fedja.
Okay, so...
Oh yeah, there's literally nothing you guys can do to stop me at this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll for fervor. crops, I guess. You can win if you battle and get a
Really? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
All I have to do is defeat this Cyclops. And oh my god.
I hope you don't go to hell.
Okay. Closer than
Oh, you have 4 dice. I forgot.
Alright, so it's
Yes.
1.
Oh, what are the odds? I should have wanted it. I should have used my.
Oh.
You can
Drop
reroll.
as a 4.
You
No,
know, you
it's-
have to re-roll that one again.
Okay.
Oh, this is painful.
All ones. Ah, you win.
Yes!
Oh, I was 1 turn away from winning.
I know.
Can I still take my turn?
No. Alright, so Ranga won with Poseidon. He was a battle god, so he executed his strategy perfectly. As you can see, he built very minimal villages and 3 castles in order to get as many dice as he possibly could. Soumya built up her resources and villages because Dagda is powerful. It grows in power based on how many villages you have. And then she tried to sprint by these tributes that allowed her to
It got me just
potentially
close.
win. Yeah, so Dagda is really,
I would have
really
won
high
if
powered.
he hadn't taken the. If he hadn't won with the Cyclops,
Yeah, so-
I would have won.
So he's a resource god, so he's all about managing resources. And then I was Odin, and if you guys noticed, I really prioritized heroes and mobility over anything else because I had a really constant stream of heroes. Ranga tried to counter me really aggressively with some of his cards, which let Soumya kind of do her own thing.
And I
But
forgot,
again-
and I forgot to counter him because I was focused on not letting Fedja win.
Yeah.
So I forgot that he built the last castle that he could actually win by battling the Cyclops.
Well, interestingly enough, though,
Like
all of
one
us were only about a turn away from winning.
Yeah, so one of the things that I wanted to build into the game was this sense of urgency and intensity towards the end. So as you can see, we were all very close and a couple turns away from winning. You know, I think had each of us, I mean, Ranga played pretty perfectly. He also got very lucky with the monsters. So
You
none
should've gotten
of
the
his
fire.
victory required no skill at all. But as you can see, it would have taken both Soumya and I
Yeah, I was a 1 turn. I mean,
one turn, yeah, 1 or 2 turns. So all of this, taking into consideration the fact that Soumya was actually pretty behind for most of the game and kind of snuck back in. So that was Deities Domination. I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. I hope you guys get what you need out of this video to understand exactly how the game plays. It took us about an hour, so like we said, 20 minutes per player. And also once you pick up the game and get really good at it, the way that we are, we've played this game hundreds of times at this point. As Ranga and Soumya have been two of my main playtesters, we move really quickly and think through our turns very quickly. Except for Soumya, she doesn't do that. She doesn't think ahead at all. So
Yeah.
so
That's
as you can
totally
see,
why I
this is
lost.
the game. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching.